Guys, you know what? The police they've been warned about this stuff for a long time. The police have been being outrun by people driving fast electric cars now. On many occasions, guys, there's YouTube videos. Why it's taking them so long to actually go, the way to keep up with an EV is to buy an EV. I don't know why it's taking them so long, but finally police departments are figuring this out. They're buying EVs because they can't keep up in their internal combustion gas guzzlers. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Welcome. Great to see you. Well, great to have you with us. What's going on here? Well, police cars have been dropped on many occasions by electric vehicles. Now, of course, you can imagine if this was China, this would be an enormous problem. But in China, if you try to outrun the police, well, the government will just knock on your door a few hours later, put you in prison and lock you away. And no one will ever know where you disappeared to. Now, I'm exaggerating, but it can happen. That kind of stuff can happen. Don't tell anyone in China that I said that. Anyway, what's going on here is that in the US, police departments have been outrun on numerous occasions. So these police departments apparently are investing in electric vehicles. The Dodge Charger Pursuit, the gold standard among police cruisers, can accelerate from 0 to 60 in 6.4 seconds, which is pretty slow. Many electric cars can go, well, twice as fast as that or more. I mean, for example, Tesla Model S Plaid can do it in about 2 seconds, maybe 2.1, 2.2, but that's a big difference to 6.4. That would mean if you were in one of those cars or something similar to that, you would be able to outrun the police very, very easily. According to law enforcement testing, a 2024 Kia EV6 GT can hit 60 miles an hour in 3.2 seconds. Now, of course, the Tesla Model Y performance, it's 3.5, 3.6. Tesla Model 3 Ludicrous or Tesla Model 3 Performance can do it in about 3 seconds. It's really, really fast. The American Model 3 Performance is faster than the one made outside of America. It's ridiculously fast. There is no police car in America that can keep up with a Model 3 Performance, which is a pretty affordable budget car. Really, it's not a luxury, super luxury, expensive car. So you can see why the police are going, holy hell, what can we do if someone is in one of those and they speed past us? What's the point of even trying to catch them? We can't. Well, of course, if the Tesla driver decides to pull over, it's different, but some are not. Rivian, for example, right? Cybertruck, same thing. You buy a Cyber Beast, good luck keeping up with that. You buy a Rivian R1T, the high power versions of those, they can do it in 2.5 seconds. So yeah, you can really see why the police in America are being outrun easily. Law enforcement are concerned that when someone behind the wheel of one of these super fast EVs chooses to take off, they can't do anything about it. Those concerns are not unfounded. Controlled tests show EVs easily outrun internal combustion police cars. During a pursuit in West Memphis, Arkansas, a state trooper attempted a tactical vehicle mobilization technique known as a pit maneuver twice in attempts to stop a Tesla Model Y, which is a family car. Both times the vehicle accelerated out of reach. It was too fast and was only stopped after driving over a tire deflation device. Yeah, departments across America have begun adding EVs to their fleets, some going nearly all electric. Officers saying they want to get behind the wheel of an EV because they're safer. They are actually safer, much safer EVs are. They're much quicker, and actually the cost savings are pretty significant as well. Plus, they don't have to take them to a gas station. We know the police love working really hard. We know they're the most dedicated people in the world. They always work really hard, and they don't have time to go to the gas station. I'm joking, of course, guys. I don't think that's true. But anyhow, maybe it is. Maybe some of them are really dedicated and hardworking. So anyway, being able to plug your EV in when you get back to the station and not have to go to the gas station is a good choice. Of course, many police stations also have solar, so they can use that solar to power their EVs. So, apparently, here's what a Georgia Tech campus police lieutenant said. This would be a great vehicle to have if you're engaged in highway pursuits, just because of how quickly it can get to that speed. This vehicle would definitely be my go-to if I was doing highway pursuits. Georgia Tech police generally don't engage in highway pursuits, but they do patrol an urban environment where seconds count. when responding to high priority calls. GTPD's jurisdiction extends 500 yards beyond the campus border, where they often respond along with the Atlanta Police Department. A police chase in June near Georgia Tech sent Atlanta police officers after suspects in a shooting who were fleeing in a Tesla. During the pursuit, officers lost sight of the Tesla, which was exceeding speeds of 70 miles per hour on city streets. If not for a police helicopter tracking the Tesla, they would have gotten away with it. So these shooters wouldn't have been caught. They wouldn't have been apprehended. They would probably be, driving around shooting more people from their Tesla. Now, I don't know if this Tesla was probably stolen. I don't think too many murderers, shooters, bank robbers are driving around in Teslas, but maybe they are. I guess it would be a smart decision. 3 new electric police cars are now patrolling the school's Atlanta campus after that happened, with the department assigning its new Mustang Mach-E GT models to patrol officers. By the way, if you think the Mustang Mach-E GT is slow, well, the new fast version of the GT is actually, I believe, half a second quicker than the previous version. It's actually now faster than the Model Y performance. It can do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, 0 to 62 in about 3.4 seconds. It's extremely fast, and it doesn't look it. So if you're a criminal and you see a Mustang Mach-E, you probably think, oh yeah, this is no problems. I'll take off, and all of a sudden you realize that the car is right behind you or in front of you. It's extremely fast, said Lieutenant Howard as she was behind the wheel of the Mach-E. From California to Maine, in both big cities and small towns, law enforcement departments are making similar choices, with increasingly patrolling the streets. One of the great things, guys, about an EV is as well, often the police sit and idle their vehicles because they're sitting in them for a while. So they've got their engine running, and it's wasted a lot of fuel. You don't have to do it with an EV. You can run your air conditioning in your EV or your heating in your EV without having to idle it. It's a huge benefit. You're not polluting yourself as well. You kind of, if you sit there, guys, with your window down and you're idling your vehicle and it's not an EV, it's internal combustion, you're basically just slow motion poisoning yourself. You got to keep your windows shut. You're poisoning people around you. That's why it's actually banned. Idling your car outside a lot of schools now in America is banned for that reason. In some cases, the proof is in the pursuit. A Logan Ohio police officer driving a Tesla Model Y was able to keep pace with a Ford Mustang for 45 minutes before the officer decided to call the chase off for safety reasons. The suspect was not apprehended, but the owner later reported the Mustang stolen, and it did actually prove in this case that the Model Y, even on highways at very high speeds, can keep up with basically fast V8 sports cars. Even the United States Department of Justice has looked at the pros and cons of EVs and started buying them for their law enforcement vehicles as well. For some departments, the primary motivation behind EVs is actually having something that's better for the environment. Georgia Tech Police worked with a student group called Electrify GT to find the best patrol car to meet Georgia Tech's goal of net zero emissions by 2050. Multiple jurisdictions in Vermont have made use of state and federal environmental grants to invest in police EVs as the state pushes for lofty electric vehicle targets. And across the border, the Canadian government has moved to replace as many of the vehicles used by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police as possible by 2035. Now, obviously, these guys are very, very happy because the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, they no longer have to ride horses. Obviously, they're going to have to change their name from Mounted to the Royal Canadian EV Police. Now, tongue in cheek, I'm joking here. Dad joke. Yeah, anyway. On top of the environmental benefits, EVs save a lot of money as well. Research from an environmental group in New Hampshire found taxpayer savings of $5,000 per year, that's US dollars, for each police vehicle that was replaced. Georgia Tech estimates an almost $4,000 US dollar savings in fuel costs alone for each of its EVs. Lifetime estimated maintenance costs are half those of petrol-powered patrol cars or gas-powered patrol cars powered by internal combustion engines. Half. And that's due to the simplistic design of electric motors and electric vehicles in general. There's a lot less moving parts. The savings are easy to sell to the decision makers and to taxpayers, say investigatetv.com. The police department of Brookhaven, Georgia invested heavily in electric patrol cars after a pilot program that involved converting a seized Tesla into a police car proved the efficiency and savings of EVs. So this was a seized Tesla. I'm not sure why it was seized, but maybe from dangerous driving. They converted it into a patrol car and then went, oh, actually, this makes sense. We should all be driving these. The other interesting thing is here, a lot of police departments use the Dodge Charger. And that recently has been cancelled. Dodge no longer make a purely internal combustion version of the Charger, but they will have an electric version. So that electric version of the Charger will probably go to police departments all around America. Michigan State Police conducted annual tests of police vehicles that this year included only SUVs and pickup trucks. For the first time in memory, there was no police patrol sedan in the test at all. 2 electric patrol cars beat the rest of the fleet in acceleration. Ford Mustang Mach-E GT and Chevrolet's new Blazer EV police pursuit vehicle. They were faster than any other vehicles tested. Now, of course, that didn't include any Tesla vehicles. I envision the entire fleet at some point will be electric, said Georgia Tech's Lieutenant Howard. Over time, other departments will be on board with transitioning to EVs, or a form of EV, including hybrids, as long as it's effective and operational with their agencies. I think, guys, by 2030, all government or police forces or fire brigade, they'll all use electric vehicles because there's just so many benefits to them. Thanks for watching.